Hi there, I'm Micaela Kaplan, the ML Evangelist at HumanSignal, and this is In the Loop, the series where we help you stay in the loop with all things data science and AI. This week on In the Loop, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of using LLM as a judge and steps you can take to help keep your systems trustworthy and accurate. Let's get started. Traditionally, we evaluate models by hand, creating a labeled dataset and holding out a portion for evaluation. Since the model hasn't seen this data during training, it gives us a way to measure performance with metrics like precision, recall, and F1. The problem with using human-generated test sets is that they're expensive to build with respect to both time and money. Humans are expensive, and judgments take time. Even your most experienced annotators will need at least a few seconds to look at the task and make a judgment, and in more complicated tasks, this time could increase exponentially. Additionally, it's important that we pay our humans fairly for the work that they do, and this can get expensive quickly. Enter LLM-as-a-Judge. Coined around 2023, the idea is that we can use an LLM to judge the outputs of our models and even other LLMs. Since LLMs are faster and cheaper than humans, they offer a more scalable way of conducting model evaluation. The problem is that these models often behave in similar ways, and that's sort of like asking a student to do a self-evaluation of their work. It can provide good insights in some cases, but the student, or in this case the LLM, might not be aware of its own shortcomings. There are a few known biases that LLM-as-a-Judge can have. The first is position bias. When asked to pick between a group of things, LLMs often decide that whatever the first thing presented is the correct answer, simply based on its position in the list. There's also verbosity bias, where the longest thing in the list is the correct thing, and self-enhancement bias, where the thing that was generated by the LLM that you're using to judge is the right thing. All of these biases make LLM-as-a-Judge somewhat unreliable in evaluating our models. There are also other issues that can arise when using the LLM-as-a-Judge technique. There isn't a clear understanding of how well these systems actually mimic a human judgment, so we don't get a good sense of how well a model is performing by human standards. This is especially true in less straightforward or more opinion-based projects. Additionally, depending on your task, the judge might not have enough context about the field you're working in or your data to be able to provide reliable answers. The most important thing to do to mitigate these issues in the case of LLM as a judge is to actually evaluate the judge itself in a manner similar to how you'd evaluate the base model. How well is the judge actually doing? There are a few different ways you can go about this. The first is to have a human create a test set, just as we've traditionally done for our models in the past. By manually evaluating the LLM as a judge, we can compare the outputs with our human raters, providing confidence that the model and the humans agree. This can aid in prompt tuning as you work to help the judge model improve. And by getting hands-on with our data, we can better understand where our models, both the judge model and the original model, are doing well and where they have room to improve. The next thing we should do is evaluate our models on multiple kinds of correctness. Instead of just checking to see that the prediction is correct, we should also evaluate the LLM as a judge for relevancy, accuracy, clarity, and other areas of concern. By vetting the model on multiple dimensions, we can be confident that the reasoning behind the predictions is correct, which helps give us more confidence in the judgments the judge is making. Finally, we can use the LLM as a jury approach. Coined by Varga et al. In 2024, the idea is that since each judge model is generative, it could give a different answer each time. Additionally, different models will make slightly different predictions. By combining the predictions of many LLMs, or the same LLM multiple times, we're more likely to get an answer that is close to our human judgment. This also helps to mitigate some of the biases and issues we talked about earlier. At the end of the day, AI model evaluation of any kind is a spectrum, ranging from fully manual human judgments, which are accurate and reliable but expensive, to fully automated judgments, which are efficient but less reliable. The best way to evaluate your models, LLM as a judge or otherwise, is to use a hybrid solution that balances the accuracy of a human with the efficiency of a model. Tools like Label Studio have this functionality built right in, so that you can quickly have a human judge the output of a model. This hybrid approach allows you to build confidence in the models that you rely on. What do you want to see on a future In the Loop? Let us know in the comments. That's all for this week. Thanks for staying in the loop. Want even more In the Loop? Check out our other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay in the loop.